Hi, it's John here with my top 10 tax tips for business owners and entrepreneurs. Tax tip number 2 is to keep it in the family. Did you know you can pay a family member as well as yourself? The first person you might look to is your partner. If your husband or wife doesn't work, you might want to pay them the same tax efficient salary as I talked through in tip 1. That could save another £1,700 of tax in the business while they receive the cash tax-free. Now, they should be doing something for that, something you justify paying them a salary for. For example, it could be helping out on the admin. The next step would be to make them a shareholder, because they can get an annual £2,000 dividend allowance tax-free and also benefit from the lower tax rates as well. The rates change slightly every year, but to give you an idea of the effect, if one person solely owns a business that makes £100,000 of profit, they'll pay about £31,000 in total tax bill across all the taxes. But if 2 people own that company jointly, the total tax bill is under £20,000. That's more than £11,000 cut off your tax bill. So it's well worth doing. Did you know you can actually pay your children a salary as well? Now, I was asked a little while ago how old somebody has to be to have a salary, and I will admit I didn't know the answer. However, I was pretty sure my client was asking, couldn't put the 6-month-old baby on the payroll. Now, it turns out they could in certain professions, things like acting or modelling. However, generally speaking, children have to be aged 13 or above to have a part-time job. Now, this can work really well. Perhaps at university and be given them money anyway. You might want to actually get them to do some work for you at the weekends or in the summers and pay them a salary to get tax relief from the company. However, you do need to be careful. To be allowable, the salary should be realistic, not excessive, and must actually be paid to them. You can also give your children shares in your company. Now, if they are under the age of 18, it's actually the parents get taxed on these dividends, so there isn't actually any benefit. But if they're over the age of 18, they can benefit from the tax-free allowance and also the lower tax rates. Hope you found that tax tip useful. If you'd like to learn about the other 9 tax tips, please check out our YouTube channel or our website.